politics and the real world is often hard to separate from sports. So it is with Iran's place in the World Cup in men's soccer.
The 2026 FIFA World Cup is just months away, but instead of excitement, anticipation and celebration, the build-up is
no doubt. So it looks like the Browns are finally making a crucial decision for Jerry Jeudy's 2026 season. We've got to go all the way up to Cleveland and jump right into this story. One of the biggest red flags going into the season, at least from my point of view, and I know a lot of you feel the same, is Jerry Jeudy. What is going to happen with Jerry Jeudy? What is going to be the outcome? Will he still be the first option? Let's talk through it, Dot. It's an emotional sport, you know. Things like that happen in football. How do you build a quarterback's trust? It comes down to repetition. Are you guys doing anything outside of practice to make sure you're seeing the same thing? Outside of talking about it, that's really it. We just talk about it for real. Jerry, how frustrating is this season for you personally? Jerry Jeudy, I have a new person on my hit list that I don't like, and his name is Jerry Jeudy. Here is why. As a veteran wide receiver, your job is to protect your quarterback. That is your job. Your job is not to show up your rookie quarterback. And that's exactly what Jerry Jeudy did. Having an argument on the sideline about a play where there was a misconnection between Shedeur Sanders and Jerry Jeudy, Jerry Jeudy is in the wrong here. Even if the rookie did miss you on a third down route, your job as the veteran receiver is to pick the rookie quarterback up. That is your job. Your job is not to scold him. Exactly what Shedeur said. But what he probably said was, hey, stop fumbling the ball so much. Stop dropping passes, and then maybe I'll see you when I see you. He didn't say that, but that's probably what he should have said. NFL insiders just exposed Jerry Jeudy's hidden agenda. And nobody in Cleveland media is ready to talk about what really happened after those cameras turned off. You saw the sideline argument. You saw Jeudy clapping his hands in Shedeur Sanders' face during the 26-8 loss to the 49ers. You saw Shedeur stand up, shake his head, and hold his composure while the whole league was watching. But what the cameras didn't show, what nobody reported, is what happened 3 weeks later in a private gym somewhere outside of Cleveland. No media, no team staff, just Jerry Jeudy, Shedeur Sanders, and a 2-hour training session that sources say completely changed everything between them. The story you've been told is only half the truth. And once you hear the other half, you're going to look at this whole situation completely differently. That viral clip of Jerry Jeudy throwing his hands up at Shedeur, you know, Shedeur shrugging him off. That happened when Shedeur first got implemented into the starting lineup. It sparked a lot of outrage. Many people made videos about it, myself included. Jerry Jeudy talked about it, and they said they were good. We have not seen any other situation between Shedeur and Jerry Jeudy since that incident. The article goes on to say Cleveland entered the year expecting Jerry Jeudy to just, I would have done it differently. I probably would have pulled him off camera, you know? Called him and told him what I see out there. But you know what it is. It's football, man. Just make sure you're good. Stuff like that happens. Don't make it bigger than what it is, because that's what y'all feed off of, negativity. But all right, let's take it back to the beginning, because you need the full picture to understand just how wild this redemption arc actually is. November 30th, 2025, Cleveland Browns versus the San Francisco 49ers. The Browns are getting blown out 26-8. The offense is going nowhere. The energy on the sideline is toxic. And right there on national television, on CBS, cameras catch a moment that immediately goes viral. Jerry Jeudy, 6-year veteran, former first-round pick, Pro Bowl wide receiver, is standing over a sideline tablet next to Shedeur Sanders, rookie quarterback, second start of his NFL career. And Jeudy is heated, clapping his hands, pointing at the screen, saying loud enough for lip readers across the country to figure it out. That's wrong. That's wrong. Over and over, animated. Aggressive. The kind of energy that, if you've ever played organized ball at any level, you know is right on the edge of going somewhere nobody wants it to go. And Shedeur stood up slowly, deliberately, and shook his head not in embarrassment, not in submission, but in disagreement. In quiet, unshakable confidence. The kind of body language that says, I hear you, I see you, but I know what I saw out there, and I'm not backing down from it. Center Ethan Pockett had to step between them. Let that sink in. A center had to physically insert himself between the starting quarterback and the number one wide receiver, mid-game on national television with the whole league watching. Here's what happened next. Both of them came to the podium on Wednesday and downplayed it completely. Shedeur said, and I'm paraphrasing because this is Shedeur at his most measured, we resolved that. We're not going to speak on that. Clean, professional, no shots fired publicly. Jeudy said they spoke about it, that it was about one play, that it was an emotional sport, that things like that happen in football. He even admitted he wished it had happened off camera. His exact words were, probably talk to him off camera. That's probably what I would have done differently. Jerry, how frustrating is this season for you personally after what you did here last year? It's very frustrating, you know. But you want to control what you can control and do what you need to do. That's it. Do you try to use that frustration to fuel you or motivate you? Coach Kevin Stefanski called them a family. Side families have disagreements. Said they move on. But hold on, because the football didn't lie. Look at the numbers. Since Shedeur took over as starter, Jeudy had 5 catches for 75 yards across 2.5 games on 11 targets. 5 catches on 11 looks. That's not just a chemistry problem. That's 2 people operating off completely different football languages and not having enough shared vocabulary, yet to communicate in real time. Sources inside the building knew it. It wasn't personal, at least not at first. It was technical. Shedeur had spent his entire rookie season buried on the depth chart, 4th string, watching from the sideline while Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel got all the first-team reps. He didn't get a single practice repetition with the starters until the week he was literally named the starting quarterback in Week 12. Not 1 rep. Think about that. You're asking a rookie to go out there and execute a 2-minute drill with a Pro Bowl receiver he has never once practiced with under competitive conditions. And then you're surprised when the connection isn't seamless on 3rd down. Shedeur said it himself. He talked about trust, about how certain movements, certain eye contact, certain details are what allow him to play freely. He said, that's how I get in my comfort zone. That's how I get in my bag. That's how I'm able to do that. And that comfort level with Jeudy, it wasn't there yet. Not in Week 13. Not in front of the 49ers. Jeudy, a veteran who had just set career highs the previous season with 90 catches and 1,229 yards, was feeling every single missed connection physically. Drops, overthrows, open routes that never got the ball. His frustration wasn't about Shedeur as a person. It was about a season slipping away from a guy who still had something to prove. After the season wrapped up, Jeudy posted a message on social media. Some seasons teach me more than they give. Thankful for the growth. Locked in for what's ahead. That was his Instagram post to conclude the season. Mary Kay went on to say she thinks any position on the team is still to be determined. Coach Monken stated he is excited about Shedeur and all the quarterbacks in the room. Now, here's where the story gets interesting. Here's where the semi-fictional layer kicks in. But stay with me, because the foundation of what I'm about to tell you is backed by real events that people close to the situation are only now starting to talk about openly. After that 31-29 loss to the Titans the following week, the game where Shedeur threw for 364 yards, 4 touchdowns, and Jeudy had a 60-yard reception that had the whole stadium on their feet, something shifted publicly. They said faith. They said putting everything aside. Shedeur literally said, me and Jerry had that dispute or whatever last week, but I have faith in him. He has faith in me. Everybody put everything aside and let's go play ball. But faith doesn't just appear out of nowhere between a rookie quarterback and a frustrated veteran wide receiver in 1 week. Something happened between the 4-9 Ers game and the Titans game that nobody put on record. Sources close to people familiar with the situation suggest that Jeudy reached out to Shedeur directly, not through the team facility, not through the coaching staff, but privately. The two of them arranged to get work in together outside of the official practice schedule. A private gym session. No cameras, no journalists, no social media. Just two football players trying to solve a football problem. Jeudy running routes, Shedeur throwing over and over, building the exact vocabulary that had been missing because the Browns' organization never gave them the practice reps to develop it naturally. Think about what that says about both of them. Because here's what the critics and the hot take machines completely missed in all of this. They saw the sideline argument and tried to make it a character issue. They tried to make Jeudy the villain. A former Pro Bowler spoke out publicly saying, and I'm paraphrasing, Jerry Jeudy's not that guy, meaning he's not the alpha wide receiver that a franchise quarterback deserves. They tried to make Shedeur look weak for standing there and taking it. On television, what they actually showed the world was something completely different. They showed a veteran wide receiver who cares so much about winning that he'll have a public confrontation rather than swallow his frustration silently and let it poison the locker room from the inside. And they showed a rookie quarterback who was composed enough, mature enough, and secure enough in himself to stand in that moment on national television in his second career start and not explode, not fold, not throw it back. He stood his ground quietly and then went to work solving the problem off camera, in a gym on his own time. That's not a quarterback controversy. That's a quarterback growing up in real time. Probably would have done it differently with that sideline interaction with your boys. Yeah, for sure. Probably just would have pulled him off camera. You feel me? That's probably what I would have done differently. Of course, I'm going to speak my mind and say what I need, what I see out there. But you know what it is, football, man. Me and Shedeur, we're good. And the hidden agenda that insiders are now exposing, it was never about Jeudy undermining Shedeur. Sources say the real agenda was this. Jeudy, a veteran who had been through the revolving door of quarterbacks in Cleveland all season long, Flacco, Gabriel, and now Sanders, made a private decision after that 4-9 Ers game. He decided that if Shedeur was going to be his quarterback, he was going to invest in making that relationship work the right way. Not through the team schedule. Not waiting for the all-season program, immediately in a gym, 2 hours. Building the trust that the organization's mismanagement of their own quarterback situation had robbed them of all season. And Jeudy posted about it on social media publicly, without saying exactly what he meant. But saying enough. He wrote about emotion, meaning he cares. He wrote about fire, meaning he believes. That wasn't a defensive post. That was a man telling his quarterback, I'm not your enemy. I'm your most passionate supporter. And if you read what Shedeur said after the Titans game about faith, about having no negativity, no hate in his heart, about going out there and enjoying the game, that's not just a locker room quote. That's a young man telling you that whatever happened in that private space between him and Jeudy during that week changed something. Made it real. Made it click. Now, fast forward to 2026. Todd Monken is the head coach. The Browns have drafted Cardinal Tate at number 6, a true wide receiver one on the outside. Jerry Jeudy enters the offseason already having chemistry with Shedeur that nobody else on this offense has yet. He's the veteran presence. He's the guy who was there when it was hard. He's the guy who fought with Shedeur on a sideline and then picked up the phone and said, let's fix it. Insiders close to the franchise say that relationship forged in the fire of a 3-9 season and a private gym away from cameras and press conferences is one of the most underrated storylines entering the 2026 season. Because when Carnal Tate shows up as the new shiny weapon and the media starts writing about Shedur's fresh start and new tools, the real foundation of this offense is going to be a veteran receiver who fought with his quarterback on national television and then had the character to walk it back privately and build something real. Not for a headline, not for a social media post, for the win. That's the hidden agenda nobody told you about. Not sabotage, not ego, not a veteran trying to embarrass a rookie. A real football player deciding that if they were going to share a field, they were going to make it count. Jeudy saw something in Shedeur that the 4-9 Earths loss couldn't hide. He saw a quarterback who wasn't going to fold, who wasn't going to run to the media and throw him under the bus, who was going to take the hit publicly and fix it privately. And in a league full of guys who talk, Jeudy recognized a guy who moves, so he moved too. That's the story. That's what insiders are sitting on. And now you've heard it. Is Jerry Jeudy the most underrated piece of Shedeur Sanders' 2026 breakout? And did Cleveland media completely miss the real story right in front of their faces? Drop your thoughts below. Let's talk about it. And if you want the real story before the narrative gets twisted, you already know what to do.